my mind many times before I decided to study medicine. It says, well, actually, I've been developed an interest in the health field. So if you like, probably she would like to study in the health field, but being a doctor, being a nurse, being an, I don't know. And it says, well, are you thinking about medicine? Not as specifically something related that doesn't take too long, because medicine is a career that takes too much time. In Guatemala, how many years do you study medicine? How many years are?
6 or 7.
6 or 7, only to finish the career. And then you start with your specialty, yes?
Yes.
That will be 2 or 3 more years. Yes? And then you go to a master if that's what you want, or another type, another 2 or 3 years. Probably doctors spend all their life studying, okay? Because that's the type of career that they like, okay? And Charlotte says, I know there are some good options, but I'm having trouble making up my mind. So I'm having trouble to decide what to study. That's why she went and asked this type of questions. Well, have you given any thought to becoming a physical therapist? It's a great field. You help people, and there's always a job available. Okay. Physical therapy, I should have thought about that. I'll keep it in mind. Okay. If you realize they're talking about, probably they are based on the United States, and according to the different countries, that is the type of occupations and jobs that we have according to the necessity of the country. Probably there are a lot of professions or occupations that they don't exist in different places, but in Guatemala they do because of the country, okay, because of the culture, because of the necessity, how to improve or develop this type of things. And there are another type of careers that people they don't like to do, and they send people from other places to work for them and to do the jobs that they don't want to do. Okay, that is another thing. Now, physical therapy, that career exists in Guatemala?
Yes, Miss.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you see that? Is it a career that can give you money or no?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. What careers do you think in Guatemala gives you money? Not necessarily a lot, but gives you an stability.
Medicine.
Medicine? Another one?
Engineer.
Engineering? Another one?
Programmer, computer.
Computer programmer? Okay, good. Now, so when you started to study your career, probably the last thing that you thought was making money, probably. Then now that you start working, you already know that you're supposed to have finish your career, having a master's degree, be bilingual, because those 3 things give you the chance to be a little bit more higher than the rest of the people. Okay, if your resume is impressive, your experience is impressive, but if you speak more than 2 languages, that will be better for you. You would apply to different type of jobs, or probably you would have the decision to decide, well, I don't like this, I go for another job. I don't like that, I go for another one. So you have the decision of choosing which job would you like to have. Who wants to try it? Let's listen one more time, and who wants to try the
Read and listen to a conversation about a career choice.
Dr. Miller, I wonder if I could pick your brain?
Sure, Charlotte. What's on your mind?
Well, I always thought I would go to engineering school, but now I'm not so sure anymore.
Well, it's not so unusual for a person your age to change her mind. I must have changed mine 10 times before I settled on medicine. Have you decided on something else?
Well, actually, I've developed an interest in the health field, and, Since you're a doctor...
Are you thinking of medicine?
Not specifically. Something related that doesn't take that long to study. I know there are some good options, but I'm having trouble making up my mind.
Well, have you given any thought to becoming a physical therapist? It's a great field. You help people, and there's always a job available.
Physical therapy. I should have thought of that. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay, who wants to try? 2 volunteers for the conversation.
Good morning, Lick. Me?
Morning. Okay, Julio. Thank you, Julio. Julio and one more? No? Come on, guys. One more. Should I choose? Should I choose? Okay, Paula. Paula and Julio. Paula, are you there? No one wants to answer. It's not there.
Yes,
Paula.
Miss.
Okay, Paula. Could you please work with Julio in the conversation?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Paula. Okay, Paula, you start.
Dr. Miller, sorry. I wonder if I could pick up your brain.
Sure, Charlotte. What's on your mind?
School, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Well, it's not so unusual for a person your age to change her mind. I must have changed mine 10 times before I settled on medicine. Have you decided on something else?
Well, actually, developed an interest in a health file, and since you are a doctor,
Are you thinking of medicine?
not specifically, sometimes relative that doesn't take too long to study. I know there are some good opinion. I know there are some good opinions, but I am having trouble making making up my mind.
Well, have you given any thought to becoming a psychical therapist? It's a great field. You help people and there's always a job available.
Physical therapy. I should have thought of that. I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you, Lick.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Okay. If you realize there are a lot of words that probably they're not so common for you, so I will change to this one and let's try to find in the next exercise. Okay. So in the photo story, they will asking this type of questions. Okay. What is the reason for Charlotte's visit? What was the purpose of Charlotte visits? What do you think was the reason? Charlotte is the student and she visited Dr. Miller. What was the reason of visiting her?
Study.
To have her opinion about the career that she wants to study. Yes? So she's not sure. I decided to go for engineering school, but I know I also interested in medicine field, not necessarily becoming a doctor. And that's what she says. Probably you should go for a physical therapist. Okay. And the other one is, what does Dr. Miller suggest?
Medicine.
Okay, in the area of medicine, probably physical therapist. Why? Because she gave 2 options. Probably physical therapist because the career is not so long as medicine career. But also, what else?
Because there's always a job available.
There's always a job available. Yes, that's what the thing, okay, that you suppose. Probably in Guatemala, tell me jobs that are available all the time. Not necessarily the one that you like. Not necessarily you need a career, a university career to have this job, but there's always these type of jobs. ¿Cuáles serían en Guatemala? Donde usted mira que siempre necesitan este tipo de trabajo.
Secretary.
Secretary. Ajá. What else? Teachers.
Doctor. Teachers.
Nurses all the time.
Nurses.
They are looking for doctors, teachers. They are looking for different type of teachers because there are English teachers, Spanish teachers, musical teachers, so all different type of teachers. Okay. Would you like to be a teacher? Because sometimes you study engineering and you had a chance to study engineering and to teach engineering. And then you decided to go for the teaching class. Then you study medicine, but they give you the chance to be a teacher and to practice. Any of you, would you like to be a teacher in your area? Not to work as a teacher, but at least to give one course in order to, or no, you don't have that type of taste. Would you like? No? Probably. Okay. Now look at the other one. It says focus on the language. Find the following expressions in the photo story. Use the context to help you match the expressions and their meanings. So when someone says make up one's mind, is A, B, C, D, E, or F? What do you think? Or if you don't have that, probably you have the number 2. Keep something in mind.
Think of something.
Be on one's mind. Settle on. Change one's mind or pick someone's brain. When Dr. Miller says, I must have changed mine 10 times before I settle on medicine. I must have changed my mind a lot of times before I settle on medicine. So settle on means that is the easiest.
It's A.
No. Settle on is make a final decision that won't change. Okay, so I give you the first one, number 4. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see, settle on, that will be the letter F. Make a final decision that won't change. Empecemos. Number 1. Make up one's mind.
Remember something?
No. Probably remember something is related to the number 2.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Keep something in mind is to remember something. I've been keeping this thing in my mind. So I've been keeping this song in my mind. So when you listen a song and then you start singing the song, but you don't know why. Because the lyrics, because of the rhythm, because of the, I don't know. And you keep it in your mind. And you spend the whole day with that idea, with that song, with that question. Okay, keep it something in mind. Another one. Change one's mind. Change one's mind. When you change your point of view, Okay. A. Okay. Change one's mind. Very good. A. Decide to do something else. So I changed my mind. I started to study. I thought that I started to study medicine, but then I changed my mind and I decided to go for psychology. It's in the field, the medicine field, but it's another career. Next one. Be on one's mind. Be on one.
No. D. Decide to do something after considering conflicting choice.
No. What could be?
Think of something.
Think of something. That would be what? Be on one's mind.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Next one. Make up one's mind.
Make up one will decide to do something after considering conflicting choices.
Okay. Make up mind is when you decide to do something after considering conflicting choices. Conflicting choices, probably I would like to study engineering, but the schedule is from 7 to 4 o'clock. Time work. Or if I study business administration at night from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and I have my day free to work. Because if I don't work, I can't study. Some people face that decision. I cannot have a university career if I don't find a job first. So, first, what is my priority? To find a job. And then, if my schedule is good, I study at the university. Okay? So, the last one will be E. What could be the letter E?
Number 6.
Okay, that will be ask someone about something. Okay, very good. Those were the answers. Okay, now let's go for the final one. Have you ever changed your mind before sharing or something? Yes. Have you changed your mind? Change your mind. For example, you had all your friends are planning to go on to the beach, and at the end you decided to change your mind because you were not in the mood of going to the beach, so you change your mind. Or at the end your mom and dad did try Mexico. Mom and dad, they decided that it wasn't the right choice, so your mind. Have you changed your mind? Yes, a lot.
Yes.
Yes, every day we change your mind. Every day. Just check the areas in which you have changed your mind. A career or job choice? Yes.
Yeah.
Have you changed? For example, you have always wanted to work in this company and you found an interview and they gave you an interview, they interview you, and then when they explained to you all the things that they supposed to have and the things that you're supposed to do, the schedule, the salary, is the dream job that you wanted. But then when you find out everything and you have the like a clear picture about the job, you decided to change your mind because it wasn't for you. Okay, probably yes. A field of study. ¿Se han cambiado completamente, por ejemplo, from engineering to medicine or from medicine to engineering? There are two different type of fields. Yes? Not probably you. It could be your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, or A person that you know. Yes. A marriage? Probably you were supposed to marry next year and you change your mind and you won't be married or you won't get married. Or probably you decided that you won't never getting married because you prefer to be single. Probably. A divorce? Probably mom and dad are divorced. They decided to have a divorce, probably. Or you and your ex-wife, ex-husband. Okay. The choice of a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Have you decided to change your boyfriend or girlfriend for another one? Yes or no?
Yes.
Of course, yes.
Yes.
Yes. yes. Okay. Another example that you might have. ¿En qué cosas o en qué decisiones nosotros cambiamos muchas veces? When you get married and probably you have children and you were thinking about having 3 children. When you have the first one, then you decide if you want to have another one, or only one. Okay. Or not having children. Another one? Another example that you can tell me? ¿Por qué trabajo sería usted mejor? ¿Por el que le paga más o por el trabajo que le da tiempo para seguir estudiando? ¿You? ¿Cuál decidiría? The job that gives you time to continue study or the job that pays you more, but you don't have the chance to study? Yes, Daniel?
In my case, I prefer the career or job joy. A feel of study. Excuse me.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Daniel. Another one? Which one will you choose? So it depends your interests. Okay. That depends on you. Okay. So let's move for the next one. Okay. Everything is related to your point of view. Everything is related when you change your mind. Now, look at this conversation. It's explain a change of intentions or plan. Probably there's a lot of people that are very organized and they already know they have a plan, not only for the week, not only for the weekend, but they also have a plan on life. My plan on life is finish my career, find a job, save money, have my car, have my house. Probably I will get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, but I won't get married. I won't have children until I have my own house, my own car, and I have traveled. And when I finish all that, I will probably get married and having a family. Or they will say, I won't get married. I won't have a family. I will be alone. I will have my mom, my dad, and that's it. So what happened when you plan something and probably the way you plan it, life is very complicated. Sometimes you have an intention to do something and suddenly something changed and you change your plan. Okay. So this is related to this one. When you change your intentions, or probably you have a best friend that you studied during all your high school. And your best friend was saying all the time, I will be a doctor. I will be a doctor. I will be a doctor. And after 10 years, you got together and you say, and finally, are you a doctor? No, I changed my mind. I'm a dentist. So probably something happened But those are the intentions probably that you have in life and probably the plans that have changed.
Read and listen to a conversation about a change in plans.
So what are you doing these days?
Well, I'm in dental school.
No kidding. I thought you had other plans.
That's right. I was going to be an artist, but I changed my mind.
How come?
Well, it's hard to make a living as a painter.
Okay. Return. There were friends. What were the plans of one of the friends? What was the career that he wanted to study? He was planning to be, at the beginning, he was planning to be a dentist or he was planning to be an artist? What was the first? An artist. The first one, it says, I was going to be an artist, but I changed my. Okay. Let's continue. There are more people. Okay. At the beginning, there were two friends, and the plan that one of them had was to become an artist. But then they found themselves in I don't know, in a party probably, and they were asking, so, what are you doing these days? Well, I'm in the dental school. So he's studying, or probably, I don't know. No kidding. I thought you had other plans. That's right. I was going to be an artist, but I changed my mind. So I changed my decisions. I changed my intentions. I changed my plans. How come? How come means why? Well, it's hard to make a living as a painter. Is it true? Do you think that is difficult? Let's place this conversation in Guatemala context.
Yes.
Is difficult to make a living as a painter in Guatemala?
Yes.
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 Do you get the idea what is make a living? ¿Qué creen que ustedes que es make a living?
¿Lo puedo decir con
¿Hacer una vida?
Yes. Hacer una vida. Esa sería la traducción muy literal. Sí, sí, comprendo. Pero ¿qué sería make a living as a painter?
Lo que se hace para vivir.
Ajá, sobrevivir. Okay. Yes. So it's difficult. It's better if you choose a career that it gives you more opportunities in life. And obviously, to become a dentist or go to dentistry school is better than be an artist. I'm not saying that artists, probably if you're very good, you need time, you need resources, you need connections in order to be a good artist. And not necessarily all the people appreciate art. Not all the people they have, not necessarily all people have the money to buy a painter, to buy a painter the latest painting that he need, or a sculpture. That is a kind of difficult. That's what it says. It's hard to make a living as a painter. What is another occupation that is difficult in Guatemala to make a living as a painter, but also as what?
Sure.
A what? A what?
An artist?
An artist es una. One more?
Musician.
A musician? Yes. Another one?
As a fashion designer?
A designer? Okay. An athlete? Do you think it's difficult to make a living as an athlete in Guatemala?
A little bit.
A little bit? Okay, sometimes you study painting, you study music, you study as a hobby, and in your free time you study like that, or you take your kids to piano lessons, to guitar lessons, not necessarily to have them with the idea that they become great artists, but they're involved in artistic things that they help them to develop different areas of their lives, probably. Okay, who wants to try the conversation? 2 volunteers? Okay, Pablo and
Hi, Miss.
and Paula. Okay, Pablo, you start.
So, what are you doing these days?
Well, I'm dental school.
No kidding. I thought you had other plans.
That's right. I was going to be an artist, but I changed my mind.
How come?
Well, it's hard to make a living as a painter.
Perfect. Very good. And that yes?
Así se pronuncia painter.
Painter.
Painter. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. As an artist, also artist. Okay. So if you realize the next topic that we're going to talk, and it's going to be the grammar part. There is an expression that you can use when you want to express that you change your mind. You already know the future going to, but you have it in past, was and where. You use expressing intentions and plans that change. I had a plan, but I changed it. Okay? So what is the structure that I use? And that was the structure that he used. I was going to be an artist, but I changed my mind. I was going to be a mechanic, but I changed my mind. I was going to study engineering, but I changed my mind. Now I'm studying medicine. I was going to go to the party last night, but I changed my mind. I was going to accept that job that they offered me in El Puerto, but I changed my mind. It's too far. I was going to study veterinary, but I decided to study zootechnia. Okay? Or I changed my mind. Those are the things that you use. And we're going to use was and were, and the going to. And this expression, you use it for express and ask about past intentions and plans that changed. You use was and were, the going to, and the base form of the verb. So I was going to get married, but I didn't. In a question, was she going to take that course? Probably, yes, she was, or no, she wasn't. Probably, weren't you going to study law? Like affirming, weren't you going to study law? You find probably you get together with a friend and you remember that she was planning to study medicine, and you ask her, weren't you going to study medicine? Yes, I was going to study medicine, but I changed my mind. I decided to study law. Imagine, from medicine to law school. Okay, so we're going to go to, yes, Pablo? No?
Lo siento, teacher, no había bajado la...
Okay, don't worry. Okay, so let's continue. And this is the one that we have, okay? So I divided in two sections because you can use the was and were going to talk about intentions that you changed. And you also have the would. So we're going to go first with the was and were going to, and then we'll go with the would, okay? Look at this one. It says past with was and were going to. You use the was or were going to and the base form to describe events that were supposed to happen, but they didn't. So you change your mind, you change your plans. For example, it was, I was planning, or I was going to study this semester English, but I couldn't. I changed my mind. I decided to study next semester English. So you change your mind. Why? Family problems, money problems, schedule problems. At your job, they didn't give you the chance to continue studying English. That's why you left it. Okay. So it says Isabel Allende was going to stay in Chile. But after the military coup in 1973, she had to leave the country. So that was something that she was going to do, but something happened that makes her change her mind. In 1978, they were going to separate. So they already know that they were going to separate because it wasn't working. The marriage wasn't working. But Allende soon returned to her husband. Okay, so they decided not to separate. And if you realize, this is your present, this is your timeline. Okay, now the future. You had certain type of plans in the past that you were supposed to accomplish, but you didn't, and they stayed in the past. Okay, that is the idea of the was and were going to. And you already know that the was and were is the past tense of the verb what. Was and were is the past verb of what verb? Come on. Was and were is the past of the verb? What verb? Be. Very good. Is the past of the verb to be. So I need, for the verb to be, I need I was. You were. He, she, it was. We, you, they were. And you need the going to and the base form. Going to and the base form of the verb. We were going to separate. This is the base form. So probably you will say, teacher, last year I was going to study English, but I changed my mind. I decided to start English this year. Last year I was going to travel to Mexico, but I decided to travel to Costa Rica. So you change your mind. Okay? Now look at this one. By using was on were going to, it described what was a future or intention at a certain point in the past that may or may not taken place. So you changed. I decided I was going to become an actress when I was 5. But now probably you are a teacher because that was Long, long, long time ago. Now, look at this one. All these sentences are in present. Why in present? Are, is, is. You already know that the past of is was. The past of are is were. Expressing intentions and plans that change. Use was and were. We're going to use only was and were because the would I haven't explained the would. Look at the number 1. She's going to go to the movies. I change this. I change my intention and I will change it to she was going to go to the movies. Why? At the end, at the last minute, she says, sorry, I was going to go to the movies, but I prefer to stay home. Why? We don't know. Number 2. So you could have sentences, questions. Okay, the number 2 is a question. Are you going to study economics? How would you change it to the was and were? So I analyze. Number 2. Are is a verb that is in present. I change it to past. Okay. Were you going to study economics? Very good. Number 3. Who wants to do the number 3?
My friend was going to speak to the manager about the bad service in the hotel.
Very good. Number 4?
Where there are going to be a lot of people at the meeting.
Very good. Number 5?
Where there are going to be a lot of people at the meeting.
Yes, that was number 4. Very good. Number 5?
This was going to be my last car.
This was going to be my last car, but I couldn't change it, so I keep my car. Okay, very good. Number 6?
Who was going to teach this class?
Okay, very good. 7?
Medicine was going to be my career field.
But I changed my mind and I decided to study engineering. Okay, very good. Number 8?
Where was Lily going to study nursing?
Okay, and those are the answers. Okay, if you realize you only changed the where, was, where, was, and was. And that's when the way you use was and were going to express an action or a plan or an intention you had in the past, but never touches the present because you change it. Okay, so I was going to study accounting, but I decided to study medicine. Okay, now let's stop there. Vamos a dejarla por hoy aquí porque yo creo que tienen algunas dudas de plataforma y de quienes están matriculados o no. Vamos a ir, ¿sí?
También, yes.
Okay.
Podría ver si ya estoy en el sistema. No sé si las tareas
de
que
inscritos.
están trabajando. Sí.
Bueno, de My English Lab.
Ahí.
Ok, vamos a ir de primero a la web app, los que me aparecen que ya están inscritos, ¿ok? Entonces, me indicaron el día de ayer. Vamos a ver de los listados oficiales quiénes son los que ya me aparecen inscritos. Yo creo que todavía tienen chance de inscripción esta semana, ¿ok? No lo sé. Vamos a ver, 1, el 2, el 7, 9, 10, 11, 11 intensivo. Aquí estamos. Habemos 44. Voy a colocar desde Karen hasta Cristel. Ok, para que miren quiénes ya están inscritos. Vamos desde Cristel, de Evelyn, hasta Carlos Rafael. Vamos desde Carlos hasta Elvis, Jonathan. Vamos desde Elvis hasta Giovanni Antonio. Y de Giovanni Antonio hasta Mariana. ¿Todos los que estamos presentes aparecen o alguno falta? Pablo era el que me estaba indicando eso ayer, ¿verdad? Pablo, ¿sí aparece o no aparece?
Sí, teacher, gracias.
Bye. Ok. ¿Todos aparecemos? ¿Sí?
Yo aún no aparezco, Miss.
¿Quién me está hablando?
Edwin Argueta.
Edwin. ¿Y qué pasó, Edwin? ¿No se ha inscrito todavía?
Fíjese que es que le escribí a la licenciada Renata, pero viera que me dijo que le mandó mi correo, mi situación a los demás de registro, pero no me han escrito, Miss.
Ok.
Y fue el día jueves, ya llevo ahorita 4 días, pero no sé.
Pero ya le respondió, me respondió, le respondió a usted con copia a mí. Y ella mandó su caso a este...
Sí, a registro, archivo y a los que están encargados de
ellos
las
no le
inscripciones. No he recibido ningún tipo de correo.
Vuélvale a escribir. Le dice que disculpe que usted sí le respondió, que ella sí le respondió, pero que no encuentra respuesta de soporte. Entonces, sí, ella le podría hablar directamente a él para que mire lo de su caso. ¿Ok?
Está bien, Miss. Muchas gracias.
Ok. Vamos a ir a la plataforma de My English Lab. ¿Ok? Para que ustedes vean quiénes son los que ya están matriculados. ¿Ok?
Una consulta, Miss.
¿Qué manda?
Perdone, el test de la unidad 5 ya lo podemos realizar.
Ya pueden.
Ya, ok. Y otra consulta. Usted nos puede compartir su presentación, ¿no, verdad?
Tengo que pedir autorización porque las hacen de comité académico. A veces les cambio yo un poquito.
Yo creí que usted la hacía. Ajá.
No, las hacen.
De acuerdo.
Sí tengo injerencia en cambiar, pero yo necesito pedir autorización para cambiarle. Déjeme averiguar. Déjeme averiguar.
De acuerdo, ¿okay? Muchas gracias.
Bye. Vamos a ver. Le cambio algunas cosas se le cambian algunas yo los cambio algunas información dependiendo del grupo, porque no todos avanzan de la misma forma. Entonces a veces se cambia ciertas cositas o se necesita más práctica de algo, ¿ok? Pero voy a preguntar. ¿Sí?
Ajá, pero ¿usted no sabe de alguna plataforma que nos ayude como a tener más fluidez?
Al hablar.
Ajá, al hablar.
Ok, vamos a ver. Déjenme ver aquí.
Gracias.
Ok, aquí me aparecen todos los que ya están matriculados. Solo déjenme ver aquí. Quiero ver hasta cuánto les dio de acceso. Okay. Tal vez algunos que se acaban de matricular se matricularon diferente, pero aquí estamos. Argueta, Arriaga. Aquí están todos. 17 de junio, 13, 15, 13. Brandon Daniel del CID, ¿verdad? ¿Daniel?
Yes.
Sí, aquí está Daniel, ya está aquí.
Thank you.
Matriculado. ¿Alguien más? Yo creo que sí, ya los vi.
Y yo. Yo no aparezco matriculada porque apenas me estoy incorporando al curso.
¿Hasta el día de hoy?
Sí. No había podido acceder a las clases, pero sí estoy inscrita en la web app.
En la web app sí está. Ok, sí. Ahorita les voy a dar la información de aquí. Ok, ¿sí aparecen todos? Sí. ¿Ok? Ok, entonces si gustan, terminamos por hoy y me quedo con las personas que no se han matriculado y les explico la forma de matricularse. ¿Ok? Y reviso lo que usted me preguntó. ¿Ok, Paula?